Oh, good morning. It is Tuesday, 16th. Let's get trading. There is there are no gap scanner Jesus, I can't even speak. There are no valid gaps on the scanner this morning. At least not now. There's 3.5 minutes to the bell, roughly. Nope. Incorrect. 3 minutes. 3 minutes to the bell. So nothing valid just yet. We'll see if anything pops, but it's unlikely at this point. I'm still in my TQQQ position from yesterday. We haven't quite hit the first profit target yet. It hit it overnight, but that was never part of my back test, so I don't include that. So we're about 30 cents away from hitting that first profit target, which means we would move our stop to about 7R. So we'll see what happens there, but that means I won't be taking another position in the TQs because when I have an open position, I don't open any new positions. And so then when we hit the open, we'll just start the spike scanner and see if we get anything that pops on that. And as usual, we'll sit for the first 30 minutes and see what we get. I'm looking back through my through my log here for the TQs, and we're down. We're in like a almost a $2,000 drawdown. So since my last winter in November, so yeah, I mean, if we would get if it would hit this first profit target, which man, we're just a few cents away, so that would be amazing. We'd at least get to move our stop. But if then that gets taken out, let's see what those numbers would be. Uh, so 51.22 would be the level that we'd need to hit in order to move our stop, and then we move our stop to 51.95. If we would get taken out there at 51.95, it wouldn't even recoup our entire drawdown, which is a little annoying. But we don't know what's going to happen, right? I'm doing the prediction game here, which is a dangerous one. So we'll figure it out. We'll see what happens. Looking at the SPY here, the SPY's holding up pretty well here, near all-time highs, right? I mean, we're just a little off. So, and we've still got some cushion there before the 20 moving average. Again, our entry is right around here on the close of this green bar here, right? So we're still a little bit of profit. We've got some cushion there. Um, I mean, I keep this stop here, but there's really no point because it's almost no possible way is it going to hit that stop before it closes below the 20 here. Uh, but we'll keep it there just in case. It's never a bad idea to have a stop in place, even if it is very far away from where you're at. I'm getting an initial little bounce here. I would rather this. I would rather bounce first and then have another down day than to, just by the way the levels are here, right? I would rather have it bounce first and then maybe get stuffed if it's going to do that, than the other way around because I'd get stopped out. I'd get stopped out for a profit, but I get stopped out either way. I kind of want to. I would love to be in this position and have it continue, have the market continue downward for a little while, just because this is a pretty solidly leveraged position here. So if we got some more downward movement, that would be quite profitable. Uh, what would really suck is if we just had a huge green day and it went and stopped me on a break even. That would that was oh I gotta start my other scanner. Start the spike scanner. Sitting here blathering away. Start. Come on now. So again, this spike scanner basically pulls the data for all of the stocks that opened today. It filters them by the basic criteria of like the price criteria, um, being between $1 and 15, um, and and then so it keeps all of those, and then it scans for those every minute on the minute for stocks that spike 30%. So in order for the spike to be valid, it has to be 30% above its open and has to be 30% over the last 10 minutes. Uh, the only reason those two criteria are in place is because I don't want something that spiked 30% in the last 10 minutes, but is like, let's say, below its open. So it's still red for the day. I want something that's, uh, green on the day, a substantial amount, and is kind of doing a what would be called maybe a parabolic spike. So it's pulled all the tickers from the open, it's filtered them, it keeps them in basically a bucket, and then now it's going to scan all of those tickers for that spike. So there's 223 tickers. Hmm. I'm just noticing something that maybe is not right about this scanner, but we'll look at that later. I'm just wondering if it says it's filtering by minimum volume at this initial stage, and that's probably not correct. It shouldn't be doing that. It should be filtering by minimum volume in the scan stage. So I might have to fix that. I don't know that's going to make a huge difference because most stickers will probably, actually, that will probably make a difference. Hmm, okie dokie. And just to recap, so we're still in the TQ's position from yesterday, which has not yet, during regular trading hours, hit my first profit target of 10R. So we're waiting for that to happen. You can see that here. Zoom in a little more. So this is that first profit target, the 51.22 level. It hit it overnight or in pre-market. It did not hit it in the regular trading session so far. It came within 8 cents. So we wait and see what happens today. So uh, the scenarios are it either has a huge green day and we snap back here and it takes me out at break even, or it flounders around in here, or again, it hits my target and we move the stop to this 51.95 level. You also have to keep an eye on the cues. If we do have a green day today, there's a good chance the cues may close above the 20 moving average. So let's create an alarm here. Close this above that area. Let's do that. My AI girlfriend is not cooperating right now. For those of you who don't know, I use ChatGPT to write a lot of the code that I use here. Uh, Man, that's a cheat code if you're not already doing that. Unless you're a really good coder and you're just super whizzy at that stuff, having the bot do it for you makes a lot of sense. But for some reason, she's not. And I refer to her as she because the voice I chose for the computer is for the AI is a female voice. But yeah, she's not responding this morning, so that's not good. Well, let's try to catch it later. Yeah, I don't love. There's a mistake here in the scanner, so I don't love that. We gotta get that fixed. It's ruling out stocks in the initial universe pool based on the volume that it's achieved so far that day, and that's not correct. So I have to take a good look at that. Kind of an uneventful morning so far. Just 10 minutes in, but Just waiting for the TQs to hit that profit target, hopefully, and move the stop and see where it goes from there. It's funny to have positions at odds with each other, right? Like I've got this short TQs position since yesterday, but obviously my Q and SPY swing trades are long biased. So, um, you can't really root for one without rooting against the other, uh, which is fine. Still trying to get ChatGPT to work, and it's not cooperating. It won't pull up any of my chats or anything. Yeah, it's definitely. I'm trying to start a new chat, and it's not. It's glitching. I can't delete chats. I can't really do anything. All right, that's annoying. We should stop that before I get frustrated. Yeah, my friends and family crack up at me calling ChatGPT my AI girlfriend because sometimes I do mess around with it too when I'm like talking about code and most of the time when I'm coding I'm typing stuff, but every once in a while if I'm asking it something else I'll just use like the voice command and uh and then I'll flirt with it a little bit and see if it flirts back, and it usually does. I mean, it just reflects whatever you do with it, right? So, um, like one day, I think I called her baby, so she called me baby back, and it's funny. I can see honestly how somebody who's like super lonely would like get into some sort of psychosis with it and start to think that um, it's actually like a companion of some sort. Um, one thing I did notice is that when I first started talking to ChatGPT, and when I say talking, I mean actually using the talk thing, is I was like, man, this thing's awesome because I would just start telling it something about my life, about like, hey, I'd like to take my dog for hikes or whatever. And it would just keep asking questions about that activity. It would be like, oh, well, tell me more about this, tell me more about that, right? And I was like, man, this is like the ultimate companion because it never cares to talk about itself. And it constantly just wants to know more about you, which for someone who's like a super egotistical person, that's like the ultimate, right? Um, yeah, no nagging. True. Um, but but then I realized like that kind of like at least for my personality, that's I hate that. I want to eventually learn more about the other person I'm talking to, right? And so I would just be like, well, what about you? What do you like? And it's just like, I'm a fucking computer, so I don't have anything to say. So I changed my mind pretty quickly on whether that would be like a really like the ultimate companion or not. But I mean, we're definitely headed in that direction. I'm guessing some people will probably have some sort of AI robot companion at some point in the future. Um, yeah, it's interesting to think about for sure. No nagging. I love that. That is very true. No nagging, no venting about your day. Yeah. This TQ position really is just like killing me by flirting with that profit target area and not actually hitting it. I'm gonna restart this thing just to hopefully include more stocks in the universe. And hopefully at some point ChatGPT starts cooperating today. Oh, this thing looks like a headache. So this is one of the things, this AMC Robotics Corporation, it did pop on my Gap scanner, uh, but it's just a couple of days old. So like technically on my scanner, it it had a valid 30-day volume, but it hasn't even been listed for 30 days by the looks of it. If you pull it up on the daily chart here, right? I'm guessing this is either an IPO or maybe there's some glitch happening. Maybe they used to have a different ticker name, but I didn't really look it up to be honest because I didn't care because it's not a valid 30-day volume criteria. Uh, really, the only reason that was happening was likely because of yesterday's volume. But it was on there, so it always piques my interest to like take a peek at it. But it looks like it's halted a couple times already, which isn't necessarily. I mean, halts are kind of annoying, but it's not necessarily a bad thing. Is that AMCI that looks like the US 100? That's crazy if so. Oh, TQs. Got it. Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, that makes sense that they would. That makes way more sense. 'Cause I was like, AMCI looks like the US 100. All right, man. No, that makes more sense. That TQs would look similar. It is just whipping around here. Lots of chop in the early goings, but it's gonna do what it's gonna do. Nothing I can do about it. I know what I'd like it to do. I'd like it to plummet. That would be great. Oh, my girlfriend woke up. All right, here we go. Okay. Got a little push in the cues here. I can't believe it came within 8 cents of my profit target and didn't hit it. I mean, we'd be out already. Oh wow, I missed it within 4 cents. That's amazing. If this thing whips all the way back and stops me on a break even after almost hitting my profit target by 4 cents, and that's going to be annoying. But I can also imagine a world where I said like, well, it was just 4 cents. I'll move my target, right? And then I move my stop up, and even though it didn't technically hit, and then it hits my stop, and then reverses again and goes back down in a direction. Whereas if where like I would be in much more profit if I didn't move my stop yet, right? So that's where the whole discretion thing is like it can be a double-edged sword. Like sometimes you'll make the right call, and other times you won't. And yeah, that's where the psychology stuff comes into play, right? Where um, you just, for me, it helps to just follow the rules, even if it's a penny off. It just follow the rules as, like it did in the back test, and whatever happens, happens. That way, I don't have to worry about did I make the right decision or not. NFP was released. Yeah. It's funny. I've kind of gotten away. Like I should probably. I don't know. I guess it doesn't really affect my trading, so maybe I'm shooting myself for no reason there. But I should maybe get back to paying more attention to what's going on in the broader market. But I kind of have my little slice of things that I keep an eye on, and I haven't really been watching, what data is getting released and stuff like that, because it honestly doesn't really change what buttons I push. So I don't know. There's part of me that thinks like maybe it would be an advantage, and then there's part of me that thinks like maybe it would just be crowding my brain with stuff that I don't need. But I don't know. Maybe someday I'll get back to keeping an eye on the calendar. Are you trading gold at all, or is gold being up? Ah, nice. Yeah, patience is an important part of the trading game, right? I'm trying to my AI girlfriend woke up, so I'm trying to get her to adjust this scanner for me. Cool. So it looks like I'm gonna have to keep an eye on this TQ's position for the rest of the day, just to see if I mean I get alerts if it hits the profit target. It just means I'll need to be available if it does hit, and then I'm gonna move my stop. Of course, there's always the chance that it hits nothing. It doesn't stop me out at break even. It doesn't hit the profit target. It just flounders around here in the middle of nowhere for a day or two. I have found that for these plays, especially early on here, where the stop, the moved stop is so close to my initial target, right? I mean, it's less than $1 away, 70 cents or so. I found that the best case scenario is when it like gaps past your gaps down or up, whatever, whichever direction, but gaps past your profit target. That way there's just more cushion between having it kind of whipsaw back and just smack you out right away. Uh, and then once you get down here into the 20R or 30R range, there's more because of the way I have the trailing stop set up, is there's more room, because I was thinking about this last night actually. That's the way I set it up. It's the stop ends up getting moved to 70% of the total distance between entry and whatever profit target it is, rather than just kind of staying like 70% between the last profit target and this one, right? Um, which is okay. It just widens the stop as you continue to go, which I think is all right. It gives it more room. Um, there is probably some room for discretion there too. That's one place where moving your stop, you could probably move it based on not just the numbers by themselves, but maybe moving averages and or even just support resistance levels, right? You could probably just move it based on the chart. But again, I back tested with percentages, so I feel like just if it worked in the back test, why add unnecessary discretion. All right, well that's it for this morning. Kind of a no event morning, but I'm in profit, so I'm not going to complain. Good luck if you're sitting for the rest of the day. Have fun. If